Well, breaking news coming in at the top of this bulletin. This is related to the BMW accident case. A bail plea has now been filed by the accused, Gaganpreet. Remember, she was sent to 2-day judicial custody. The court has issued notice to the Delhi police as well. The court is set to hear this matter on the 17th of September. The accused, as I mentioned, has been sent to judicial custody for 2 days. My colleague Shreya Ghosh now joins us to get us more on this. Shreya, take us through the details.
Well, of course, we understand that the accused, Gaganpreet, who was driving the BMW X5 that rammed into the motorcycle carrying these two senior people, one of them who lost his life, 57-year-old Navjot Singh. The accused, Gaganpreet, has been arrested and she was produced before the court. And now she has been sent for 2 days judicial custody. The court will be hearing the matter day after tomorrow. And this is the big development that is coming regarding this case. We understand that, this incident happened yesterday on the busy ring road when this BMW being driven by Gaganpreet rammed into this motorcycle, and that led to the death of the 57-year-old finance ministry official Navjot Singh. His wife sustained severe injuries, but now she is in a stable condition. She went through treatment, and the accused, Gaganpreet, who decided to take the victims and transport them to a hospital which is 22 kilometers, almost 19 kilometers away from the accident spot. Of course, that angle is being investigated at this point in time. She was arrested on grounds of rash driving causing death, but now the other angle of tampering evidence, because it's being investigated. And the police also said and questioned Gaganpreet that how come that she did not inform the police before taking the victims to such a far off the hospital. And she said that, out of panic, out of shock at that very moment after the accident, she felt that, GTB Hospital, whose owner happens to be her own acquaintance, that is where she admitted the victim. The victim, Navjot Singh, who later lost his life, and his wife also went through minor injuries. So now she's gone into the judicial custody, and the court will be hearing the matter day after tomorrow on the 17th of September. Back to you.
All right, Shreya Ghosh there. Thank you very much for getting us all those details. Meanwhile, there has been massive outrage and grief after the senior finance ministry officer, Navjot Singh, he was killed in that crash. His wife is battling for her life. Serious questions have emerged. Why was he taken to a hospital that is almost 19-20 kilometers away, bypassing closer facilities? Was previous time lost in saving him? And what about the driver herself? Now, this case is not just about a fatal accident. It's also about privilege. It's also about power, accountability, and whether justice will finally be served. Navnoor Singh, the son of Navjot Singh, the man who was killed in this accident, he believes his father's life could have been saved if he had been taken to a super specialty hospital nearby. Meanwhile, the couple had gone out to a gurudwara in the morning. They had gone for lunch when this accident took place. The Delhi police, in the meanwhile, has filed a case of culpable homicide and negligence. They also suspect evidence tampering in this particular case.
आप थोड़ा ढाना सके, आप ये बता सकते हैं कि क्या हुआ था, कैसे आपको जानकारी मिली?
तो मेरे को एक फैमिली फ्रेंड का कॉल आया था कि ऐसे ऐसे मेरे मम्मी पापा का एक्सीडेंट हो गया. बट आई वाज वरीड, बट लाइक माइनर एक्सीडेंट हो गया क्योंकि पापा बहुत केयरफुली चलाते हैं, तो आई वाज नॉट वेरी वरीड. बट फिर उन्होंने मुझे पिकअप करा और हम वहाँ गए. हाउएवर थोड़ा वो था कि वो बंगला साहब गए थे और वापस घर आ रहे थे, तो इट डिडंट मेक सेंस कि आज़ादपुर के किसी हॉस्पिटल में वो एडमिट हुए हैं मुखर्जी नगर के पास. तो वो थोड़ा अजीब लगा था. फिर मैं वहाँ पहुँचा तो हमारे एक और पापा के दोस्त है, वो ऑलरेडी वहाँ पहुँचे हुए थे. तो उन्होंने मुझे फिर बताया कि पापा की डेथ हो गई है. और मम्मी से मैं मिला था, उनकी तो हालत ख़राब थी. उनका बहुत सारी चोटें लगी हुई थी, हेड इंजरी भी थी. इवन दो हेलमेट पहना हुआ था उन्होंने, फीमर उनकी पूरी शाटर हो गई है. आफ्टर द एक्सीडेंट धौलाकुआं में हुआ था. उनको फॉर सम रीज़न जो वो थे जिन्होंने जो ड्राइवर थे उन्होंने वहाँ भिजवा दिया 20 किलोमीटर्स अवे इन सम हॉस्पिटल कॉल्ड न्यू लाइफ GTB नगर में एंड इट डिडंट मेक सेंस। 1 घंटे का रास्ता है यार वो एंड टाइम इज़ क्रिटिकल आफ्टर एक्सीडेंट। तो अब आई डोंट नो द डिटेल्स एट CCTV फुटेज अभी नहीं आई है कि एग्जैक्टली कैसा हुआ क्या हुआ, बट आई थिंक ये 1 घंटे क्या पता अगर पास वाले हॉस्पिटल में जाते मे बी ही वुड स्टिल बी हियर।
उन्होंने अपनी तरफ से तो यही कोशिश किया है कि भाई मैनिपुलेशन करने वाली बात है। जब आप दूर ले जाएंगे, मतलब एक फंडामेंटल रूल है कि किसी का एक्सीडेंट हो जाता है उसको घर उस स्पॉट से नियरेस्ट पॉसिबल और हाई स्पीड से ले जाना होता है ताकि उसके सर्वाइवल के चांसेस ज़्यादा हों। लेकिन इस केस के अंदर उन्होंने उसको फर्दरेस्ट ले गया ताकि उसके सर्वाइवल के चांस बहुत ही रिमोट हो गए और वो चला गया, मर गया।
आपको लगता है कि अगर आसपास करीब 5 से 6 बड़े अस्पताल हैं, अगर वहाँ वो ले आते तो शायद जान बच जाती? बिल्कुल पास में ही बहुत सारे अस्पताल थे।
देखिए, उसके धौला कुआं के राउंड अबाउट के पास हमारा RR है, रिसर्च एंड रेफरल आर्मी हॉस्पिटल। उधर वो एक ब्लिंडन हॉस्पिटल जिसको बोलते हैं, राम मनोहर लोहिया, उधर है। और भी 1-2 हॉस्पिटल है, वहाँ उनको ले जाया जा सकता था। लेकिन इन लोगों ने इंटेंशनली उसको, जैसे आपने बताया कि उसकी औरत के कुछ पेरेंट्स का हॉस्पिटल है जिनमें हमारा लड़का होनहार अकेला लड़का ख़त्म हो गया इसकी, इन लोगों की वजह से।
मेरा बच्चा इतना अच्छा होशियार हो तो पता नहीं किसकी नजर लग गई, क्यों मारा, क्यों क्या क्या कसूर किया था उसने दोनों का। वो भी तो पड़ी हुई है हॉस्पिटल में, उसके भी हड्डियां टूटी पड़ी है, पीछे सिर फटा हुआ है, उस पर हेलमेट पहनी हुई थी उसने। कोई सोचा ही नहीं, कहता चल मैं गुरुद्वारे जाता हूँ। कई बार जाते हैं, बाइक में भी चले जाते हैं। तभी 11 दिन पहले ट्रेनिंग गया था, ऑफिस की ट्रेनिंग थी यहाँ पर ही।
क्या कहेंगे कि
इंडिया
ये एक हादसा है या कोई साजिश इसके पीछे?
नहीं, बेचारे की कोई साजिश नहीं, कोई नहीं।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he's in poll-bound Bihar. He was in Purnia where he raised the infiltration threat. Prime Minister said that Purvanchal is under the threat. He also warned the Congress as well as the RJD, saying that infiltrators will have to leave. The RJD has responded, saying that it is the responsibility of centre to tackle this issue.
साथियों, कांग्रेस और आरजेडी ने न केवल बिहार के सम्मान को खतरा है, बल्कि बिहार की पहचान को भी खतरा है। आज सीमांचल और पूर्वी भारत में घुसपैठियों के कारण डेमोग्राफी का कितना बड़ा संकट खड़ा हो चुका है। बिहार, बंगाल, असम, कई राज्यों के लोग अपनी बहनों बेटियों की सुरक्षा को लेकर चिंतित हैं। इसलिए ही मैंने लाल किले से डेमोग्राफी मिशन की घोषणा की है। लेकिन वोट बैंक का स्वार्थ देखिए, कांग्रेस, आरजेडी और उसके इकोसिस्टम के लोग घुसपैठियों की वकालत करने में जुटे हैं, उन्हें बचाने में लगे हैं और बेशर्मी के साथ विदेश से आए घुसपैठियों को बचाने के लिए ये नारे लगा रहे हैं, यात्राएं निकाल रहे हैं। ये लोग बिहार और देश के संसाधन और सुरक्षा दोनों को दांव पर लगाना चाहते हैं। लेकिन आज पूर्णिया की इस धरती से मैं इन लोगों को एक बात अच्छी तरह समझाना चाहता हूं। ये आरजेडी कांग्रेस वालों की जमात, जरा कान खोल के मेरे बात सुन लो। जो भी घुसपैठियां हैं उसे बाहर जाना ही होगा।
18 वर्षों से सरकार उनकी है केंद्र में, 20 वर्षों से यहाँ मुख्यमंत्री हैं आदरणीय नीतीश कुमार जी। वो अपनी उपलब्धि बता ही नहीं पा रहे हैं। अब घुसपैठिए का जहाँ तक सवाल खड़े करते हैं तो उनको तो सबसे पहले जवाब देना होगा। ये तो अपनी सरकार का पोल खोल रहे हैं, 11 वर्षों से सरकार में है और सरकार में रहते हुए तो घुसपैठिए घुसे कैसे? ये तो सरकार की नाकामी है। अब कह रहे हैं डेमोग्राफी चेंज, ये आपको भी गले के नीचे नहीं उतर रहा होगा। सरकार किनकी है केंद्र में? हमने पैरवी कहाँ किया? हमने तो कहा, हम लोगों ने, इंडिया गठबंधन ने कहा घुसपैठिए घुसे कैसे, इसका जवाब तो सरकार दे दे। 11 वर्षों से सरकार में है, घुसपैठिए कर रहे हैं। चुनाव के समय धर्म के नाम पर सिर्फ ये करना चाहते हैं, वोटों का ध्रुवीकरण। इनके पास अपनी काम बताने के लिए कोई नहीं है इनके पास मुद्दा जो ये बता सके कि हमने ये काम किया। ये सिर्फ चाहते हैं ये सब करके लोगों को फिर से झांसे मिले। अब बिहार भी तैयार है, अब इनके जुमलेबाजी और इस सब तरह के झांसे में बिहार की जनता नहीं आने वाली है। बिहार की जनता रोटी, कपड़ा, मकान, रोजगार, नौकरी पर, ये तो वोट चोरी में पकड़े गए, तो अब घुसपैठिए पर सवाल करे। भाई घुसपैठिए को निकालने से किसने मना किया?
Time for a very short break. More news and updates on the other side. Welcome back. The U.S. chief negotiator Brendan Lynch, he is arriving in India tonight, and U.S.-India are set to continue the trade talks tomorrow. This is what the government officials have confirmed to NDTV. In fact, to advance discussions on the first tranche of the proposed bilateral trade agreement between India and United States, this team of American trade negotiators, it will be arriving in Delhi tonight, and according to the government sources, the US officials will hold talks with Indian counterparts on Tuesday, is what we understand. Aditya Raj Kaul joins us to get us more on this. Aditya, should we expect any concrete breakthrough or announcement from this particular meeting? Take us through the details.
Well, Osama, this is certainly a very crucial meeting that is going to take place in Tuesday. Rajesh Agarwal, India's chief negotiator, will be hosting and meeting Brendan Lynch, who is the chief negotiator for South Asia, on these trade talks. You'd remember that in the August last week, talks were scheduled to be held, but that was postponed indefinitely after Trump imposed 25% tariffs on India, and then 25% additional tariffs. So 50% tariff remains on India at this moment, but clearly there has been some backroom dialogue. The back channels have been working over the last many weeks, and there's been positive statements coming in from both US President Donald Trump as well as the US Secretary of State Marco Rubio. They've said that India is the topmost priority, the topmost relationship for the United States. Trump, in fact, going on to say that he's a very close friend of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and there's nothing to worry about when it comes to the bilateral ties between New Delhi and Washington, D.C. This, certainly, I would clarify, is not the sixth round of talks. Many in the media, many are giving a commentary that this could be the sixth round of talks. Already 5 rounds of talks have happened, but this is not the sixth round of talks. This is just an important bilateral meeting between the two chief negotiators to streamline the talks process. This is a step towards the sixth level talks that could happen in Washington, D.C. or New Delhi in the coming days. But this is crucial because this will balance out the differences. This will try to strike down the differences that have emerged over the last few weeks. And then, of course, the talks will happen towards a trade deal. And as we know, Osama, that Trump has put a November deadline, and there could be possibility of a trade deal by the end of this year.
Aditya, contextualize this for us. What will success look like for both the India as well as the United States when it comes to the bilateral trade agreement?
Well, Osama, already, as I said, that there have been statements in the positive direction from US President, from Marco Rubio, the US Secretary of State, and then additionally from Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who welcomed Trump's gesture and the statement that came in from Dr. S. Jaishankar as well, that he values the global strategic partnership between DC and New Delhi. So in the backdrop of such positive statements, both Lynch and Agarwal will take the talks forward, but there will be no major announcement in the next 24 hours. That's what top sources within the government are telling NDTV, that do not expect a big announcement, but there could be a possibility of a statement that is released by both the Commerce Department in US and the Commerce Ministry in Delhi. And that statement would be a kind of a positive step direction, which would evaluate the kind of positivity under which such a meeting has been organized, and would say that the trade negotiations would continue in the positive direction towards a conclusive kind of a trade deal that could happen in the next few weeks.
All right, Aditya Raj call there. Thank you very much for getting us all those details. From record-smashing wins to bold red carpet statements, the 77th Emmy Awards had it all. Big laughs, historic firsts, and some very political pins. Take a look at this special report.
Hollywood's biggest night for television glittered at the Peacock Theatre in Los Angeles, as the 77th Primetime Emmy Awards celebrated the best on the small screen. Comedian Nate Bargatze made his Emmy hosting debut, keeping things light as the trophies rolled out. Seth Rogen's comedy The Studio swept the night with 13 wins, a new record for a comedy series. Meanwhile, HBO Max drama The Pitt scored the night's top prize, Best Drama, edging out the heavyweight contender Severance. At just 15, British actor Owen Cooper made Emmy history, the youngest male winner ever for his chilling turn in Netflix's limited series Adolescence, which also took home Best Limited Series. And beyond the glitz, a political flashpoint. Several stars wore artists for ceasefire red pins, calling for an end to Israel's military campaign in Gaza. Among them, Megan Stalter and Javier Bardem, lending star power to the movement. A night of record breakers, bold statements, and fresh wave of winners. The Emmys proving once again, television is still the stage for the biggest stories. Bureau Report, NDTV.
That's all we have for you. Keep watching NDTV for more news and updates.